looking for a purse to snatch.
Hello and welcome to Joy News at 6. The news is live on Joy 99.7 FM and Hits 103.9 FM in Accra. In Kumasi, we're on Love 99.5 FM and over 30 affiliates across Ghana's 16 regions, including Sankara FM, Yendi, Castle FM, Cape Coast, Laura FM, Laura, and Radio Max, Takoradi Get Radio, TV and online content on the myjoyonline.com, interactive app for Android and iOS devices. Coming up, Transport Ministry clashes with commercial drivers over alleged 20% fare increase, denies negotiation for extra charges, and we have details of this. Also, pressure mounts on Cocoa Board and the Finance Ministry to honor payment of bills as it fails to pay investors who bought their bills months after the completion of the debt exchange program.
Why are the individuals with the cocoa business getting their money? I don't know human beings. I don't know Ghanaians. This thing must be corrected now. So whoever is listening, Minister of Finance, wherever you are, after that post there, you will leave there one day. So while you are there, use it for good.
In business,
Economist Intelligence Unit advises government to go into negotiations with private creditors or Eurobond holders with tact, since the creditors would demand complex restructuring terms. Details on the Joy Business Report.
And later, governing NPP Executive Council disqualifies 17 aspirants from the January 27 parliamentary primaries.
For the number of people who have been disqualified from contesting in the primaries scheduled for 27 January are 17.
These are more coming with me, with Mami Sinyamiche Thompson. We are your home of independent, fearless, and credible journalism. Let's dig in now. The Ministry of Transport is asking the general public to disregard reports of a purported hike in transport fares across the country. The Commercial Transport Operators and GPRTU yesterday indicated its preparedness to increase fares by 20% starting next week, citing increases in cost of lubricants, spare parts and DVLA service charges. But in what appears to be a response to the public announcement by the Transport Union, the Ministry of Transport is urging the public to pay only the pre-existing cost, despite the projected charges that may be imposed by commercial drivers in the coming days. My colleague Maxwell Abawa joins me with details of the ministry statement. What does it say, Maxwell?
Well, it reads, there has not been any negotiation with the transport operators for review of the transport fares. The ministry further explained that when it becomes necessary for such negotiations and the decisions are taken, the general public will be appropriately informed, as has been done in the past. The Ministry of Transport also stressed that it will continue to ensure fair and reasonable public transport fares, keeping in mind the needs of transport operators and the general public.
Thank you, Maxwell. Away from that, pressure is mounting on Cocoa Board and the Finance Ministry to honor payment of bills after it failed to pay investors who bought their cocoa bills months after the completion of the debt exchange program. The investors are demanding Cocoa Board honors payment of the bills before the close of January. They say the inability of government to pay them their money is affecting their livelihoods. Speaking to Joy News finance and economic policy analyst Senyosi said government must honor its responsibility to the people.
For investor protection, it's saying nothing. The Ministry of Finance is only interested in going to announce 90%. What kind of job are we trying with people's lives at this time? It is not acceptable. We have a mandate to the people of Ghana. You have a responsibility by thought to the people of Ghana, to the citizens. That puts every one of them in power. They should wake up to their responsibility and make sure that these lives are protected. Get them their money. The cocoa bills are not different from the treasury bills. If you are paying treasury bills, why are you not paying cocoa bills?
Well, convener Pensioner Bondholders Forum, Dr. Edouana Nientri, said it's wrong for government to conceal information from investors on payment of their bills.
People who are managing the stock exchange should bring these people to book. Tell them that, look, you must provide the information to the market. Let the market decide what they will do with that information, because the issuer is responsible for paying us at this date. If you can't pay, please, you must let the information go out. But to keep quiet, not telling anybody anything, is wrong.
You are convener for Pensioner Bondholders Forum, Dr. Edouana Nientri. Now, the New Patriotic Party has disqualified some 17 aspirants from contesting the January 27 parliamentary primaries. The decision was taken at a National Executive Council meeting on Wednesday. General Secretary of the party, Justin Kodia Frimpong, gave a breakdown of the numbers in an address to the media after the meeting, revealing that elections in the Inshiaiso constituency has also been put on hold.
For the number of people who have been disqualified from contesting in the primaries scheduled for 27 January are 17. Those who have been cleared to contest by the National Executive Committee are 325. Those who have stepped down are 3. Those who are going unopposed are 30. So in all, we have 376. The new development is that we have one court case. The party has been served with a writ and also an application for interlocutory injunction with respect to Inshiaiso. And for that matter, elections in Inshiaiso constituency has been stand down until the court process has been addressed.
Mr. Kodia added that Sunyani East constituency can also hold its election after it resolved issues surrounding the dispute on their album.
The National Executive Committee has directed that the constituency album that existed in 2018, which has the polling station executives, is the album that we are going to use in this current dispensation. And where people have died or people have traveled, the National Party, in consultation with the regional party and the committee that has been established, will do elections in those vacant positions.
Here, General Secretary of the NPP, Justin Kodia Frimpong. Now, in the heart of the Bulsa North municipality in the Upper East region, the Sandema Hospital, originally designed to be a haven of care, stands in a state of disrepair. Whenever it rains, the hospital's roofs betray their duty, leaking profusely. The structure has not escaped the ravages of time, displaying gaping cracks that question its integrity. Health workers and patients say they find themselves in an unsafe environment. For a closer look into this unsettling reality, join my colleague Jojo Kobna in the first episode of Ghana's Sick Hospitals.
So can you see, for peace and for peace, the sweat, you know that this be like the ice to your chest. So can you?
It is an ultimate walk of shame for any visitor to the Sandema Hospital in the Bulsa North District of the Upper East region. If you were blindfolded, dumped here in the corridor, and the cloth is pulled from your eyes, you could never guess that this place is a hospital. The walls are dirty and the paint almost peeling off. The ceiling is moldy, greenish brown and rotting away. The corridors are dark and dingy. The medical superintendent of the hospital, Dr. Emmanuel Opoku, is unhappy with the state of the hospital, but he's also very worried about the safety of nurses and patients because of the gaping cracks in the walls.
When it rains, almost all the walls leak, including the medical soup's office. And during rainy seasons, it makes seeing patients very difficult because sometimes you need to get to a safe place to cater for the patient. And we'll be grateful if you could get help.
As the head of the facility, he works with the news team to show the dangerous state of the facility. A substantial and alarming crack traverses the length of the wall, extending from floor to ceiling.
So this was formerly used as a dispensary, but because of the nature of the cracks, they have to move to the other side.
Jojo Kobna with the first episode of Ghana's Sick Hospitals, and it will air today on the Joy News channel. Now, most of the resources promised by ministers to alleviate the plight of the Akosombo Dam spillage victims have still not been honored. This is according to the investigations of security expert Colonel Festus Abuaje, retired. After the disaster in September last year, several government officials, including the ministers of Food and Agriculture and Education, made significant promises to help the victims cope. Speaking in an interview with Raymond Akwa on Affront, Colonel Abuaje, retired, insisted the delay in fulfilling these promises is worsening their plight.
Since all the promises by government, nothing has happened. The only money that has come from government and government officials is the 160,000 that the vice president donated from his pocket. The 20 or so thousand that I think Honorable Ejakwa Mesa, some bags of cement, I think the Winneba gentleman, what's his name?
Alex Afenyama.
Yes, that is all. The 40 million from our Greek IDA has not landed. The 220 million in the budget has not happened.
Well, in a related development, President of the Institute of Security, Disaster and Emergency Studies, Dr. Ishmael Norman, has revealed that only 5% of the staff at NADMO are trained to manage disasters. He believes that contributed heavily to their poor management of the crisis.
NADMO has over 10,000 employees. Less than 5% of them are properly trained for emergency intervention. We don't take disaster management seriously, and government itself doesn't take disaster intervention, disaster response seriously. Promises are never kept when it comes to disaster emergency intervention. So we are always going to be singing songs like this after every major disaster emergency in this country.
And President of the Institute of Security, Disaster and Emergency Studies, Dr. Ishmael Norman, brings us to the end of the bulletin. In our top story, Transport Ministry clashes with commercial drivers over alleged 20% fare increase, denies negotiations for extra charges. Business is next on the Super Morning Show.
The boys are lined up looking for an opening. They are charging forward from our three. Kuku has his eye on the cashier, but Yao gets there first. He taps, and he scores!
Win your ticket to glory with the ABSA Card Assist. Tap to pay with your ABSA debit or credit card, and you could win an unforgettable Premier League experience in the UK or any of over 50 consolation prizes such as home appliances and shopping vouchers. It's time to tap your way to the Premier League with your ABSA card. ABSA, the official banking partner of the Premier League. Terms and conditions apply.
Be part of the moments to remember with AFCON 2023 on DSTV. Experience Africa's biggest football tournament with all 52 thrilling games live and in HD the way you like it. Enjoy expert commentary that will blow your mind. It's a gorgeous finish. Super goal. And the finest analysis to keep you in the game. Live your pride, passion and love for Africa's beautiful game from the 13th of Jan to the 11th of Feb on Supersport or anywhere on DSTV Stream.
Millennium Insurance has enhanced its motor insurance policy cover to make life more comfortable for you, our valued clients, and in the event of vehicle breakdown whilst on the road. To ensure your safety and that of your vehicle, Millennium Insurance will ensure that your broken down vehicle is towed to a safe place within 1 hour of call and 30 kilometers radius from the place of breakdown. This service is absolutely free. Millennium Insurance, your trustworthy partner, is on standby to be of service to you. Contact us now on 0501 394 997 or 0501 285 821, 0501 394 997 or 0501 285 821.
Millennium Insurance, your trustworthy partner.
What's so tasty, creamy, crunchy, makes you happy when it's near? Munchy, munchy, oh munchy, oh munchy, shortcake biscuit.
Enjoy the unbeatable taste of Munchy Milk Shortcake Biscuits, serving you original milky richness for 20 years. Munchy, a rich ankasa. This advert is FDA approved.
No matter your water needs, Syntex has it all. Syntex tank was first to introduce double layer tank, and now you can have as many layers as you want. Syntex tank was first to introduce white inner layer tanks in Ghana, and now introduces the customer specs order, which will let you order any color and size you want. Syntex tanks gives you the biggest warranty of 7 years, which no other tank gives you. So whatever your water consumption, size of project, or demand, choose Syntex tank. Syntex tank, stress-free. Syntex tank, reliable. Syntex tank, maximum guarantee. Call 0244 335 168, Kumasi 0505 555 666, or visit syntexgh.com. Syntex Tank, strong, tough.
The wait is over. It's the Clash of Titans. The Total Energies African Cup of Nations Côte d'Ivoire 2023 is here. And as part of this year's competition, all Total Energy service stations will go into 100% football mode. So drive to selected service stations and kickstart your year with lots of amazing giveaways. This is our way of supporting our gallant Black Stars. So starting Sunday 14th January, when you buy fuel or lubricants from selected Total Energy service stations on Ghana match days, you instantly win amazing branded souvenirs. Let's celebrate the passion of football together and win lots of gifts during the 2023 Total Energies African Cup of Nations. Remember, promo is valid while stocks last. Visit our social media pages, Total Energies GH, for more information. Terms and conditions apply. Let's live football together.
Oh my God.
I don't know if I should explain what has been
don't
going
try
on.
to explain.
Hey, Imbura is back.
He's back.
Anyway, Akwa, good morning.
Good morning. Could you?
These people will kill me. It's nice to see you.
It's nice to see you, could you?
A bunch of things on our minds today.
Yeah.
Obviously, we miss the boss player. 10 years ago today.
10 years?
Yes,
Wow.
10 years now. I actually remember.
Yeah, I do too.
I had just come home from England. I'd been around for just about a week. I was parked at Kotokraba Market, waiting to pick up a friend of mine, when I got a phone call from Nia Itego. And I could not believe it. Could not believe it.
It was really shocking.
Yeah.
Wow, 10 years already.
10 years. And, well, his legacy clearly lives on.
Yeah.
Yes, and we're all grateful for what he did, because paved the way for the rest of us, right?
Certainly did.
Mm-hmm. Today, I want to know why they haven't paid for the dialysis debt. You remember government's, promises and the plenty they were doing when we invited them to that forum here.
Still
that
not
they will
paid.
pay it off. They will pay it off. January, they haven't paid.
Wow.
Oh, but honestly,
it's I don't know.
Some things are embarrassing. I mean, what exactly is it that they have prioritized over this in that period of time? 4 million cedis.
4 million cedis.
So that place is still relying on the benevolence of strangers to save people's lives.
We can't pay 4 million cedis?
No, it's not that we can't pay. We don't think it's that important.
Oh.
We clearly don't. Otherwise, we would have paid it, because we paid for other things.
$400. Black Star supporters.
Every single one of them was given $400.
Hey, Charlie.
Meanwhile, those who are dying at Kolebu are being left to die. Anyway, but parents can now support their children's schools through the Parents Association, dues and fees and donations and things. Now, finally, government has agreed to let parents support their own children's schools.
Charlie.
Why they were stopping it will forever be a mystery to me.
And so as if you're doing what you're supposed to do.
No, but seriously, I mean, just so that you can look good, I should let my child suffer? Just so that you can boast about your free SHS policy?
Well,
did I give birth to my child to come and earn you political points? Is that why I gave birth to my child?
This is when reality sets in, right?
I guess. Thank God, better late than never, right? Anyway, these and more are some of the things we're talking about today. Also, let me ask you, everybody is saying what qualities they want in a president. Me, I said vision. Winston said integrity.
Show working.
Show working.
Results oriented, not plenty talk, not plenty English.
Okay.
Just show working.
Show working. I like that. We're compiling our list. All right. So, listen, for the 6 a.m. news, we're grateful to Total Energies. Total, we go the extra mile for you. And Absa Bank Ghana Limited, helping you find a way to get things done. Not forgetting Millennium Insurance, your trustworthy partner. So I hope you're ready, because here it is, the Joy Business Report.
Hello, good morning. Welcome to the Joy Business Report. Coming up this morning, Economist Intelligence Unit advises government to go into negotiations with private creditors or Eurobond holders with tact, since the creditors would demand complex restructuring terms. Also coming up, government's quest to continue reducing inflation to hit 15% may be under threat. We'll tell you why. Plus, small and medium enterprises advised to have good operational policies to protect erosion of working capital as government takes steps to reform the economy. Details coming up. My name is Darryl Kwal. Thanks for joining us, everyone. Hello to our friends listening from Koforidua on KTU Radio. The Economist Intelligence Unit is advising government to go into negotiations with private creditors or Eurobond holders with tact, since the creditors would demand different and complex restructuring terms compared to bilateral creditors. The UK-based firm says it has doubts whether negotiations with the private creditors will be concluded by half year 2024. Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta has said that the government will begin negotiations with Eurobond holders and commercial creditors seeking 40% haircut. But speaking on the Africa Outlook 2024, principal economist Benedict Craven said it is difficult to negotiate with private creditors.
The G20 Common Framework for Debt Treatments has been adopted by 4 sovereigns in Africa already who are restructuring their foreign debt. But the procedure has had a difficult test run. This is its first proper trial. BAD successfully concluded a treatment under the framework, but had a fairly small creditor pool. For those with a more complex creditor profile, like Zambia and Ghana that you mentioned, Pat, there have been setbacks at pretty much every stage of the restructuring process. And it doesn't seem like either country will be able to conclude talks before mid-year. Our real concern here is on the optics, or the messaging that all this delay sends out to other sovereigns at high risk of debt distress. Now, Zambia and Ghana will establish some precedents that can speed up the early stages of negotiations for any new default. But there are lots of fundamental disagreements that remain among various creditor groups, official versus commercial, and among official creditors themselves, and these are bound to reappear, potentially leaving economies in limbo for lengthy periods if they go down the common framework route.
Benedict Craven there, he's principal economist at the Economist Intelligence Unit. Government's quest to sustain inflation rate reduction in coming months will hit 15% by end of year may be under threat. It follows reports some commercial transport operators are working to increase fares for Monday. Here's George Rafi with more.
The Ghana Revenue Authority will in the coming days start enforcing the 5 new tax acts. Key among them is the VAT Amendment Bill, which may result in motor premiums going up by more than 30%. Now, this may force transport operators to also adjust fares, which may end up increasing the cost of foodstuffs that are transported to the market. This could also result in the cost of living going up, which may impact on inflation rate. This because the Ghana Statistical Service recently indicated that if government wants to check inflation rate, it may have to focus on reducing the cost of foodstuffs on the market. December inflation rate currently stands at 23.2%, but there's another development that could impact inflation rate badly going forward. That is the VAT on utility tariffs. Joy Business is also learning that due to these developments and threat to inflation rate rising, the Bank of Ghana could be forced to freeze any significant reduction in the policy rate, a move that might go a long way to increase the cost of credit. Some have argued that if government is really committed to reducing inflation rates in the coming months, then maybe it might have to hold on to some of these taxes taking effect in the coming days.
George, I feel with that report. Now, the Ghana National Chamber of Commerce and Industry has urged its members to embrace value addition in the operations to stay relevant this election year. According to the chamber, engaging members on the numerous opportunities in the economy despite its associated challenges is critical for the sustenance of their businesses. Speaking to Joy Business, Greater Accra Regional Chairman of the Ghana National Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Nana Ajinim Boateng, said this meeting will position members to stand out among other competitors.
Every election year, government has big appetite to spend. And with that big appetite is a good opportunity for the private sector to also do what? Grow. That is, there will be more jobs, that is purchasing, there will be more contracts, and whatever you can think of, product, services that government will acquire, because government is the biggest buyer in the economy. And as such, this meeting is important for us to position our members to take advantage of that big appetite of government. So for us, today's meeting was to really dwell on value proposition. And value proposition is all about we preparing our members to differentiate their products and their services from the competition.
Greater Accra Regional Chairman of the Ghana National Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Nana Ajinim Boateng. Now, Senior Manager, Accounting Advisory Services at KPMG, Stephen Berche, is urging small and medium enterprises to set up operational policies that would safeguard their working capital. According to him, this would help small businesses maintain their working capital and give them good credentials that could aid them in acquiring loans from banks and other financial institutions.
Again, because they have limited funds and they are SMEs, they don't have track records that suppliers or banks can leverage or rely on to give them money if they want. And that has been a challenge. If you are managing your working capital, you should have a policy in place. And you should assign roles and responsibilities to people who are you assigning to. Then they should ensure that the policies are being operationalized. Then, as I spoke about components of working capital, so the strategy should be also aligned to each of them.
Senior Manager, Accounting Advisory Services at KPMG, Stephen Berche, speaking on the marketplace as part of our Joy Business Advisory series. That conversation continues this afternoon at 2 on the Joy News channel. Now, Ghanaians can now conduct international financial transactions directly in cities using their Visa cards. This cuts down costs whilst expanding financial inclusion. Previously, the public needed to convert cedis to other currencies for international transactions. This new development, facilitated by Visa and Ghana Interbank Payment and Settlement System GIPS, will eliminate the need for currency exchange and will simplify cross-border payments. Vice President and Head of Visa West Africa, Andrew Oboy, spoke to Joy Business.
We have well over 6 billion cards across the world. And we've built capabilities in over 200 markets. And we all have relatives that live in different parts of the world that want to send money either to us or even to our other family members in more remote parts of our countries. What this partnership can do, or what Visa can do, leveraging the partnership and the technology that we have, is that funds can be pushed from anywhere in the world into a Visa card. And now once those funds get into those Visa cards, those cards that fund can now be used either domestically or it can be used as cross-border. So the capability of an international card, they can now shop online.
Okay, heading next to Investor Eye today. Don't give your bank account details or personal details to anybody just because you are promised huge and unrealistic returns on an investment. Let's listen to Senior Manager in charge of Risk Management Department at the Securities and Exchange Commission, Zakaria Haruna Baba.
One thing people should look out for, somebody's running business. You don't know who is running that business. What it tells you is that, you invest. Sometimes they say, bring 100 cedis, invest 100 and get 2,500 in the poster with 30 minutes of trade. You get this percentage. I mean, it's good to be true. It's too good to be true. You get me? So I mean, people should be careful in giving out their bank account numbers, their Momo account numbers, their credit card numbers to the so-called cryptocurrency traders. Like Mr. Mensapia said, this is not nice, it's not regulated in Ghana. So if you are dealing with such people, they are mostly foreign companies or foreign platforms they use. And you don't know people who are behind these platforms, you see. So it's actually a warning.
Okay, before we go, let's check the markets. Crude oil this morning selling at $78.13 a barrel after going up by $1 from yesterday's trading. Gold has gone up by $3. It's trading this morning at $2,009 an ounce. Cocoa posted some significant jump from yesterday's trading, selling this morning at $4,400.
I think that